Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another StarCast TV commentary done by yours truly, Flash for the win. Today, I'll be bringing you guys an interesting best of 3 cast between these two players. Sorry, as the pink Terran spawning here at the bottom left position on Polyploid. And spawning up here at the top left position is going to be Hero. So it's going to be a very good best of 3 between two very strong players. Hero, this is the, I think one of the first times I've been casting his series on this channel. He actually has kind of fallen off the radar a little bit. Last ASL that he participated in was the ASL 5, which was, a couple years ago. And he hasn't put up any really major results since then. He, looking at his Wikipedia page, at the very least, nothing updated for him in 2019. So he kind of did not do anything. I'm curious if he went to military. I'm not quite sure about the news for him. But otherwise, the most recent tournament he played in was the Caster Muse Star League Season 3, where he ended up getting into the round of 16, but unfortunately got paired into a group of death alongside Snow, Sorry, and Action. And in fact, in that group, he lost to Sorry in the losers match 1-2. So this will be almost like a rematch between the two. Sorry, everyone knows him for his unique style of TvZ, where he went for the biomech build, going for the bio with Goliath push that he would commonly do, that a lot of players actually tried to copy, but ended up not being too good in a 2-hatch meta world. So yeah, it'll be very interesting to see how these two played out. Hero mostly known for his ZVP matchup. I believe that his ZVP was always like in the mid to high 60% win rate. Very strong ZVP. His ZVZ and ZVT lacking a little bit behind. At least I think I recall in his peak, he was very strong at them. But by strong, I mean something like in the upper 50 percentile range. So I would say like 55, 56, 57%. But nonetheless, very strong percentages. Anyways, as we come out here, we're going to see it is going to be the 12, 11, 10 build here from Hero. And we see a bunker being placed out at the front by Sorry, which will be scouted at by the Overlord here and forced to cancel. So a nice little win pickup there by Hero, forcing the cancel on the bunker. And the Marine that was pushing out will have to merely retreat. Actually, there was no Marine. Actually, just completely faked everything. So it looks like that Sorry, all he was trying to do was fake a bunker and force some drones to be pulled. But in the meantime, he is now getting his command center up himself and did not make any Marines, so he will be going into that CC before second supply depot, which is always very nice for Terran to get that command center up a little bit faster than normal, and then immediately transitioning into, looks like it's going to be a 2 barracks academy play. And there's the first Marine being built. So we're going to be seeing a very standard game here from both these players. It looks like it is going to be that 2-hatch style from Hero that we all know. Second SCV being pulled across the map just to make sure that the first SCV is low on health, will be able to head home. The SCV does manage to get its way into the main base and see the layer timing. And the layer is just about 2/3 of the way done, and so Sorry will be pretty much ready for this. He should know that this is a layer first over a speed first play, otherwise he most likely would be seeing more Zerglings. And in fact, I think that he should be able to deduce that this is a layer first, because if it was speed first, I believe that these Zerglings, 1, might already have the speed upgrade, and 2, that the Lings would want to catch the SCV up before speed upgrade was finished so that he could hide the early speed. Same time, Spire being dropped down right as the layer finishes, and Hero is just going to drone behind this initial 4 Zergling pressure, grab his second gas really quickly, and now he's going to be sending out his drone to take that very fast 3rd base. Once again, all very standard stuff inside of this ZVT metagame right now, with the 2-hatch meta being very, very popular. Academy almost finished here for Sorry. We'll be getting his stim and range upgrades very soon. And just continue to see to produce out of these barracks. So now once the Academy is about to finish here, as you can see, just finishes, stim finishes, and then double medics coming out here. They'll pop out at a roughly, 5 minutes, and we'll see that 5-minute, 5:10 timing that Terrans like to do. Now, because he has gone for the command center first and didn't make any Marines for a while, you'll notice that he's only actually on 6 Marines total. So this could be him not deciding to go for any kind of initial push out. He might wait for, yeah, it looks like a Marine and a Fire Bat, and then he might go for a slight delayed push here off of the 2 medics and 1 Fire Bat push instead, will be a stim will finish up right as this push is starting to head out across the map. Actually, 1 Fire Bat might be left at home. No, it will be brought on with this push. So this will be very interesting to see where this is going. Sari did scan and sees the 3rd base coming up, so he knows that what he's dealing with. He knows that this is going to be the stock standard ZVT build order. Meanwhile, adding on barracks 3 and 4, we'll be going to that Nyoken standard build where he will be going to that 4 barracks into the tech build. Firebat does get picked off. That's actually very crucial here for Hero to pick off, because without the Firebat, drones and Zerglings can be more efficiently pulled out. We won't have to deal with that Firebat stim with that stim Firebat. Engineering your base starting that +1 here. And we're going to see the missile turrets coming out as the Mutalisks are going to be heading out across the map here. These missile turrets are Firebat Hero turrets. Will they be done in time to deal with these mutants? At least 1 turret here done in natural. It looks like that Sari has positioned and timed his missile turrets properly. He wants to make sure that he gets these ones at the natural first, because that's the closest point to the Mutalisk. And then these ones back here in the main base can be started a little bit later. Right now, this is the most dangerous time here for Terran. Terran does not have that Marine range upgrade finished just yet, so he will have to be a little bit worried about the Mutalisk harass. But once that Marine range upgrade finishes and that +1 finishes, Terran is going to be much more confident moving across the map and not having to deal with these mutas quite as much. But for now, it will be having to play very passively, waiting for that range upgrade to finish, and that's about to finish right now. Meanwhile, back at the main base for Hero, he is getting that +1 carapace upgrade. Once again, very, very standard, very, very aggressive Mutalisk style that these Zergs have been using more and more. And a second hatchery is being built here at the 3rd base. So Hero looks like he's going to be going to more of a Battle Zerg style. You can see 9 Mutalisks coming out right now. So this is going to be a very aggressive Mutalisk play here. He is going to be teching into these lurkers very soon, but with the additional macro hash here, Hero is looking to do more of an aggressive style. And that's what Hero usually does, is that Hero's style, especially in ZVP, has been that really aggressive style where he would always take, at least on Circuit Breaker, he would never go for a turtle style on 4-player maps, grab the other natural base. He'd always be grabbing the close 3rd bases, especially on Circuit Breaker. He would always go for the patented close mineral only base and then build up to a 6 hatchery Hydralisk play. And here we're seeing the same thing here in ZVT. These Mutalisks need to be very careful trying to deal with these Marines that +1's just about to finish right now, as we can see. And with the Marine range upgrade having already been finished, I mean, these Marines are much more powerful to deal with these mutas. The mutas actually have to go in first, take some damage in order to snipe off some Marines. So he's got to be very careful of how he's going to go about. He's done a fantastic job of stalling this force out for now, but he is trying to delay for this Lurker Tech to finish, only halfway done right now. He is going to have to sacrifice a couple of Mutalisks right here to keep this force stalled out. He is building a sizable Zergling force right now, so he is whittling down this Marine force to the point where he can go in for a big attack with these Zerglings, and now he's done a fantastic job really bringing back these Marines. And the reason why he's trying to get in between these Marine groups is that if Sari doesn't pull back his Marines here to regroup his Bioforce, then he's going to be able to kill off the reinforcing Marines that were coming down here. Now, Zerglings are out here in the middle of the map getting ready for a big flank onto this army. So Sari's army positioning is going to be very crucial. He needs to make sure that his army is not too balled up to give Zerg a big surface area to surround the army, but at the same time he needs to make sure that he's going to be able to micro his way out of any sticky situation, and he's still waiting outside of the natural here to buy time for a larger bio ball as well as tech. As we can see, machine shop is finished, tanks are coming out here, science facility on the way. But Hero's done a fantastic job. Hero's bought himself enough time, really well done by positioning these mutas in between the main army as well as the reinforcing bio ball, and this is going to allow himself to get up into the hive tech. As we can see, hive being started right now, the hydras are coming out, the lurker tech has finished, so lurkers will be out in time. Hero is going to most likely start to look for that 4th base, 4th gas, to start really getting into that big hive tech transition with those defilers, with those ultralisks, if that's possible. Marker being killed off here to allow the tank to come out, and meanwhile more Mutalisk harass going onto his bio ball. He's got to be very, very careful. These Marines here catching a couple Marines out here at the top ramp. Not bad catch here for Hero. Hero now moving an Overlord to scout out potentially these other slight attack paths that Hero might try to go for. And Hero, we might see a dropship coming out here soon as well, and these Overlords are pretty well positioned here to deal with any kind of drop. We'll be able to see them in time. And Hero's done a fantastic job of just buying himself so much time here for the lurkers to finally be able to come up here. And this is what we're going to see with the big lurker ball. The lurkers are a little bit slow right now to get on top of this. Lurkers do get onto these Marines, but the lurkers are going to start burrowing down. No micro here for Sorry's micro a little bit haphazardly right now. The medics are in front. The medics might end up falling. All the medics go down. A big Marine splash here onto the bio ball from those lurkers. And now Hero looks like solidified himself into this game. He's going to get right on top of the naturals here with these lurkers, and there's just not enough Marines, it seems like, to deal with the amount of lurkers right here at the front. Hero's just barely done enough to get himself into this well-positioned army, and now he's going to start moving himself up here to this top side, can pick up this Comcast. Now, obviously, Siege Mode is going to clear out these 3 lurkers. He's going to have to unburrow and back up because of the Siege Tank right here. Yep, here we go, backing up right very, very carefully to make sure that he doesn't lose any more lurkers than he has to. One lurker is at low health. It will get picked off there. Here comes the Scourge. Will he be able to pick up the Science Vessel? No. Nice micro there from Sorry, and Hero did end up giving a little bit of an advantage back towards Sorry. But overall, Hero is just trying to stall out this force. Hive tech has been finished right now. Where is the Defiler Mount? We need to really see this consume timing. Oh, the Defiler Mount's not even finished yet. So this is still a big timing window here that the Terran player has to work with before Defilers are able to come out here. Now, Hero's going to really need to do a good job of managing to snipe this vessel. If he can snipe the vessel, then he doesn't need to worry about his consume timing. But with this vessel on the air, with the Radiate being finished right now for the Terran player, he's going to need to really stall out this force, and he's going for this big Ling Lurker force coming in here. The vessel goes down, and the Lurkers here have a really nice surface area against these Marines, but the Marines also have a very nice surface area against these Lurkers. The Siege Tank in the back is not getting hit right now, but the Scourge might hit this last vessel. Will they get it? No, miss micro. Oh, one Scourge barely managing to get on top. There is no bio left though, and that means these Lurkers and Zerglings are going to be able to force themselves into the actual base here. It looks like Sorry's force here is starting to dwindle too much. There's no Marines. Where are the Marines? He has not macroed his Marines properly, and that's going to be GG. Well played here by Hero to take these really nice engagements, and that's going to be game 1 going over to Hero in this best of 3 series. Really nice battle Zerg style there from Hero, really knowing the strengths of his race and the timings that he needs to work with. He realized that in his position, trying to go for a turtle style was not worth it. And his aggressive style, as I said before, in those ZVP matchups really shine through in this matchup here, where he just continuously ran Lurkers and Zerglings to buy himself time for Hive and establish a 4th base there in that game. Really well played there by Hero, managing to break through Terran. And it's a very risky style, because if Terran has good micro, you know, if we see, especially when Flash plays this game, and even someone like Light, their micros is just tremendous, where Zergs almost have to go into a turtle style, because going for that battle Zerg style will never work against those Terrans. But again, Sorry, Sorry did make a couple mistakes. There's some micro mistakes, and just didn't end up allowing himself to get into better positions to deal with those big Zerg swarms. But anyways, we're going to game number 2 here on Escalade, spawning up here at the top right-hand position as the blue Zerg is going to be Hero, which means that down here at the bottom left-hand position as the pale greenish Terran, lime green Terran, you could say, is going to be Sorry. Sorry will be going for the supply depot right in front of his natural base. Going to be walling himself off here. Could be signs of mech play. I did say this in previous casts, where normally this wall off here at the front does indicate potential mech play. Although I will say that in that previous cast, I just went bio anyway. So it is just nice to allow Terran to be able to build up that wall early on in the game. I do like to see Terrans going for that wall into mech style. I know that was very popular back in the day. I think it was like in the 2010 era, where a lot of Terrans, because a lot of maps allow Terrans to get proper wall-offs, link-type wall-offs, that they were able to really go into that mech style and catch Zergs off guard. And I mean, here we will see the fast gas here from Sorry, so we might end up seeing that kind of mech style, or just maybe a fast tech play into Science Vessels or Valkyries. We did try to see that happen. I forget which game it was that I just cast recently, but it was I think maybe it was Sharp versus Hyun, I think, where Hyun was playing Zerg, and Sharp went for that fast science facility build to deal with the 2-hatch Mutalisks. It's a very risky build, because, it really comes down to Terran executing his science vessel control properly, and in that game he didn't end up managing to save them quite as fast. Anyways, going over here, it looks like a standard 12, 10, 11 build here from Hero. cross map position means that if it goes for any kind of vulture play from Sari, the vulture will end up getting there quite late. And we're going to see the factory being dropped down very soon for Sari, and we're going to see what kind of tech he's going to opt in for. Now, no gas on this means he's going into a very fast command center right after the factory. So we will see if he does end up going for more tech like Starport, it's going to be much later than normal. Usually you see maybe one guy on gas still left over, so that by the time he drops his command center and the command center is just about to finish, that's when the Starport ends up getting finished. Or getting started once he hits 100 gas. But we do see one guy getting into gas here for Sari. Nope, ends up getting pulled. Just kidding. Looks like the guy is going to be going back to set up his command center here. And we see the SCV scout inside of the Zerg base. Does see the layer timing is very stock standard. And the Zerglings will know they're not look like they're not going to go back home to harass this SCV. Maybe he's got another pair of Zerglings coming out here to deal with it. No, one Zergling does end up coming back home to deal with the SCV scout. Command center is now going down here for Sari, banking up a little bit more gas with two guys on gas, sorry. And it looks like no, just going to a very fast machine shop. So it could be Vulture Mines, Vulture Speed. All of these are definitely avenues that Terran has to go for. Again, this one barracks into tech build is a very, very flexible build. And Zerg or Terran can definitely change up what they want to go for depending on the map, as well as their personal preference here. First Vulture is coming out, and it will be the Vulture Speed. So he might try to go for a Starport later to go for dropships, and as we know with Vulture Speed, those Vultures tend to stay alive inside the Zerg base for forever if he's able to get into the base. And this is really nice here actually from Sari, because as we can see, you know, he doesn't know about the build. He doesn't have any Sun Colony, doesn't have the early Hydralisk Den to deal with these early Vultures. He's going to a macro hatch here, not going for that faster base, especially here on a map like Escalade. Your close third bases are actually very, very wide open, not easily defendable. As we can see here, a pretty wide ramp leading up into the third base, and if you look on the defensive side here, you know, it's like Circuit Breaker. You have to defend this big pod out here for Zerg. So taking this macro hatch, a very smart play. Now he could go for the main base here on either side of the corners of the base, but again, with a big map like Escalade, a little bit hard to defend, especially when he doesn't know exactly what the Terran is going for. First three Vultures are done right now. Armory is coming up, so it looks like it will be a Goliath build that we'll be seeing pop out very soon. And here come the Speed Vultures. We're going to need to see Hero drop down the Sun Colony immediately. Yes, here comes the Sun Colony. And we're going to need to see some Lings being brought out maybe to protect the top of the ramp here. But right now, as it stands, the Hero is so woefully prepared for this right now. Drones are getting pulled. They're going to go try to sit at the top of the ramp right now. Mutas are on the way. Sun Colony is morphing up. The Vultures will see how many drone kills they can get. So far, no drone kills. Finally getting one drone kill. Nice job here defending top of the ramp with the drones only having lost one so far. Second drone does go down. One Vulture does end up getting picked off right now. The Sun Colony will finish in time. It will just in time. It looks like 4 drones end up getting picked up, but the Vulture will be sitting back here at the middle line. Well, it is very low HP, so these mutas will end up picking up very quickly. 4 drones, 3 Vultures after getting the Vulture speed upgrade. Looks like pretty worth it actually for Hero. Defended it pretty well. Obviously, he doesn't want to lose any drones in that situation. Maybe 2 drones at best, but losing 4 drones, not the worst case scenario. Definitely looks like a worthwhile trade for both players. Sorry, saying what, picked up 4 drones that might have been in the gas, and now his economy is not as strong. I'm not sure if he ended up seeing the macro hatch. Yes, it does look like he saw the macro hatch. So maybe he'll see, oh, well, picked up 4 drones. He can't sustain that the third macro hatch there. So probably okay for him. Meanwhile, it is going to be the 1 barracks mech build, or 1 factory mech build, I should say, getting that +1 attack upgrade. So it will be the biomech, his patented biomech build here from Sari. I was wondering why he didn't have a second factory coming off of this, but unfortunately for him, with these mutas coming right into this area, the problem with this build is that there's a big weakness, and this is one of the reasons why a lot of professional players stop using this build here, is because of how big of a timing window that the mutas have to operate around. Is that, as you can see with the turrets, you're forced to build so many turrets around your base here to defend it, because you just don't have enough Goliaths to defend all aspects of your base. Normally with Bio, you'd only need 3 sets of turrets. 1 at the natural, 1 in front of your barracks, and then 1 at the main. Instead with this, you'll see so many turrets being built here because you just don't have the surface area you need with the Goliaths to defend. And this is again the reason why we don't see this build as more efficiently coming out here for Terrans. And again, we'll see, he's seeing the barracks light up. He sees the barracks light up. He should know that something's up right now with this style of build that Sari has gone for now. And I'm not sure if he saw the medics coming out, but he should know that there's just not a lot of Goliaths that have come out here from the Terran player, and he should know that something is up. Scans coming down here. We'll see that the third base is coming out. We'll see the Hydralisk as well as the Evolution Chamber is done now for Hero. But Hero is really all he needs to do right now is to make sure that he understands what the build is going for. He needs to play that battle style, and I think that's what mostly is a good counter to this build, is just going for that battle style. Now, we did see mass mutas being played out here on Horizon Lunar Colony in some of the matchups that we saw from Zero against Light and Flash, especially, where, you know, close air positioning just meant that going for mass mutas really was the play to go. He does see the medic, and now he's for sure knows this is going to be the Sari battle mech style, or biomech style, that he's going for. He's got a couple lurkers here in the middle of the map. Will we see the stop lurker play from Hero? This will be a very nice catch out here, because there's not enough Goliaths here really to sustain any kind of big attack. The power of this build comes from killing off Mutalisk really easily, as well as dealing with lurkers relatively okay, because the tankiness of the Goliaths means that the Marines here, if there's not enough significant micro from Zerg to target fire the Marines, that the Goliaths soak up all of that lurker fire, and that the Marines will be able to just DPS down the Zerg army. Now, as you see back inside the base, we're seeing the science facility with the Starper coming out, so vessels are on the way. We're going to see the scan coming out, just scanning over here, maybe seeing things that there's another base up there at the 12 o'clock position, but to no avail. These stop lurkers here in the middle of the map, relatively well positioned. He's seeing if Terran is going to decide to move out in the middle of the map, and it looks like that right now Sari is just trying to consolidate his forces, wait for some more reinforcements. He does have siege tanks out right now. He's waiting for that, essentially the Vessel 3 tank push, but the power of this push is going to come from the fact that instead of mass bio, where lurkers are able to kill off the Marines, that the Goliaths here will be able to help out in tanking and dealing some significant DPS there against the lurkers. SCV coming out here to scout out potential fourth base from Hero, but Hero is again staying on this army that he's going for. Big Mutasfall coming in here to natural, doing a really good job here of making sure that he pulls back, or forces the pullback on the army. Vessel's going to pop out right as these Mutas are overhead. The Mutas will decide not to go after it. We'll be able to pick off these missile turrets, pick off a couple more SCVs here before these Mutas are going to end up leaving the base. Here they go, leaving right now. And again, we're going to see that seemingly battle Zerg style from Hero. And these Hydras will most likely end up turning into the Lurkers, as well as we're seeing the Defiler Mound with the Hive that has been finished, and the Defiler Mound is almost ready to go. The Mutas are still just harassing inside the base, trying to stall out this force as long as possible. Does end up scanning these lurkers, so they weren't stop lurkers, they were just normally positioned lurkers. I really felt like stop lurkers there might have been a little bit better, especially when he knows that the first science vessel was back home at his base to defend. But now the vessel is out with his army. Sari is going to start his big initial push that's coming out here. Lurkers and Lings here going for a backstab. This backstab might be a little bit too early here because the units from Sari are not yet out in the middle of the map. Now they're just going. Sari is going for it. He's going to go for almost a base trade. I think we saw this in one of the ASL games here where they went for a base trade as himself. And will this force end up working out for him? Now, Hero is bringing back a lot of Mutas, a lot of Blinks to try to defend back at home. The Lurkers are cutting off all reinforcements. There's no reinforcements to be had here from this main army for Sari. The Lurkers here are going to burrow at the top of the ramp. And right now, Hero is looking like he's going to go for this big surround right now onto his army. This is a bad position here for Terran. If Hero executes a surround right now, the units cannot get across the map right now because the Lurkers here at the top of the ramp are holding him back. Here comes the force. The Lurkers, Lings, Mutas coming from behind the force. Will he be able to get on top of the Bio force right now? The Bio's on top of the ramp. The high ground is doing a really good job for him, but he's starting a sandwich here into the back. The Lurkers have pulled back from the natural base of Sari. Will they be able to get into this Bio force? Yes, they will. The Bio force is going to go down. This force from Sari here has failed. Sari's initial force is going to go down. The vessel is most likely going to get picked up on its retreat back home, and Hero has done a fantastic job of holding back his force. Really needs to pick up this vessel though. This vessel pickup will be huge for Hero, and Sari with this initial force has now suddenly found himself in a world of hurt. He has found himself significantly far behind right now, and Hero is looking like he is just going to set up a fourth base, tech up an Ultralisks, and it will be the end of the game after that. He is trying to go for another small bioforce, but this force is so flimsy compared to the force that Hero has back at home. As you can see, more lurkers being morphed back at home. A lot of lings. Crackling upgrade, I think, has finished as well. And now it looks like Hero is going to try to skirt around this army and set up himself for a nice backstab. Overlord here in the middle of the map is going to see this force coming through, and that means that Hero is going to know that he can execute upon this backstab, especially when walking Defiler over to the natural base of Terran. And once this Defiler gets through here, with Swarms going right on top of the natural, I think it's going to be a good game here. There's no way for Terran to deal with a Defiler walking into the natural and the main base with Swarm. There's just too much. Yeah, he knows that he can't defend the natural. He's going to be forced to go for a backstab. But as you can see back here, the army from Hero is just too large, too significant, and that's going to be GG. Well played here by Hero. A well played series, and that will be it. 2-0 going over to Hero, using again that very aggressive Zerg style, not allowing Terran to move across the map without getting punished for it. And that was a well-played series from Hero. So hopefully Hero will be back for more larger tournaments, maybe the next ASL that he'll be back in. So I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.